Yeah, I'm still alive, I guess, apparently. Um, for how much longer at this point, I really don't know. But until that day comes, I guess I'll keep providing occasional updates. And yeah, whenever they stop, well, I guess that'll be that. What's it been now? About a week since the last update. So, what have I done? What have I done? What have I accomplished? Truthfully, not a whole hell of a lot. Um, Thursday, I got to wait around in the morning and get my water meter replaced by the city. That was fun. Rearranging the entire day for a 5-minute visit from the guy from the city. It was funny. The letter from the city said to expect it to take about half an hour. This guy was in and out inside of 5 minutes. It's like, I mean, I had scheduled everything around an extended, the way that the letter was explaining everything. They're going to be checking the old water meter, replacing that, checking various connections, to make sure that I wasn't fucking with the water supply inside the house, all kinds of shit. Nah, none of that happened. He just said he's here to deal with the water meter. I showed him downstairs to the spot where it was. And I came upstairs, sat down, and wasn't even 5 minutes later. He was saying that he was done. So, yay! Let's see, and then yesterday now, Friday, got my windshield replaced. So that was fun. Again, I had to schedule my entire morning around that. I said it was going to take about 3 hours to get it done. They actually had it done inside of 2 hours. So that was some welcome news. I live nearby to downtown, so I can just walk back from wherever I drop my car off at when I get car work done. At least in town here. But still, it takes about 20 minutes or so for me to get there, to get from there to here. The walk home from the glass place was, it was nippy, just because it was about like 35 degrees with a bit of a wind. Not horrible, but still enough that I was gonna leave your fingers numb. But then the walk back, oh dear God. I got to the bridge and that wind fucking tried to blind me with all the sand that was blowing around, salt and sand that they throw on that walkway. It was brutal. But anyway, got that done basically the first thing in the morning. Haven't been sitting around at home playing Monster Hunter Wilds all day since then. Having a hell of a lot of fun with that one too, by the way. It's a lot more story driven than the world was. I can't really say anything about Rise because I got a few hours into that one. It just didn't hook me. So it's on my in my library unplayed, but Wilds has been a really good time. Maybe a bit too easy with the options that they give you. They have a thing by default where you'll automatically arrange the hunts for multiplayer. It doesn't matter if it's humans or actually they use AI bots if you don't get human players. or you can just set it so that it's only AI. And well, I don't really like dealing with other players anyway, so I just set it to AI to begin with. And yeah, I think the longest hunt that I've had thus far, for comparison, the average duration for a first time hunt in World would be about anywhere from maybe 25 to 40 minutes, depending on how hard it was to track down the monster and blah blah blah. I think the longest hunt I've had so far, and I've gotten into chapter 2. I mean, not sure how many hours it's been, but I've got, I would say I've got about 10 or so monsters, I've actually hunted uniquely. And I think the longest hunt I've had thus far has been like 12 minutes. So they really have nerfed the difficulty. Whether it be the monster's health pool or just because the AI bots are just doing too good of a job. So I imagine they'll get nerfed in an update pretty soon. But yeah, anyway, that's been most of my Friday. However, not all is good in these four walls, unfortunately. Kind of surprised that she's not up here right now, but I've been having issues with Trish again. So she's, ever since she got that sedated grooming last month, well, back in January now, where she got shaved down, she's had issues with scabbing. Like, I want to say they've been calling them lesions. They would bleed, and I put her into a kitty onesie, as you saw in previous video, so that she wouldn't start licking those spots and aggravating them, opening them back up. And well, I took her out of the onesie. Was it a week and a half ago? Within 2 days, I noticed that she was again bleeding from 2 of the previous wounds, because she keeps going back to those wounds and licking them extensively to the point that they are irritated, and then they start bleeding again. So I put her back in the kitty onesie for a second time. Left her in there for a week. I took it off on Tuesday evening, and Wednesday she was fine. Then Thursday, early afternoon, I actually looked at it and saw, okay, it's a little red, but it's pretty well healed. But then that evening, I looked at those spots again, and they're irritated, and she is just obsessively licking them, because I don't know. It was to the point where even if I put my hand over those wounds, she would keep licking my hand instead. Like she just didn't give a shit. She would just start attacking that with her tongue and would not stop, no matter what I did. So, unfortunately, she was, the kitty onesie was in the wash, but I hadn't run it yet, so I had to do a late load of laundry last night to get that taken care of. Got her put back, got it washed and dried last night, and put it on her last night. And yeah, so now we're back to square one again. So this afternoon, I finally got around to it. I finally called the vet, and asked what we can do about it. And their only suggestion for me was bring her in for an appointment with the vet. So I am unfortunately going to have to wrestle her back into that carrier and bring her back to the vet next week and see if the vet can give me any kind of treatment or hacks to keep her from licking those spots. So I think as it was yesterday, Thursday night now, when I noticed that it hadn't started bleeding yet, but it was extremely irritated. So I just don't know what to do with her at this point. She worries me. She really does. You know, I moved that over there to give you an easier time to get up here. Oh yeah, that's another thing with her now. Ever since the last time I had her in the onesie, all of a sudden she decides that she cannot jump up onto any furniture. She'll do this thing with her front legs, where she'll put her paws on the surface and look at me like hey, I'm here, help. But she just doesn't want to make the jump anymore. I mean, I don't know if wearing if wearing clothing actually inhibits a cat's jumping ability, but the first few days after I put her in the second time, she had no issue with jumping up, and but all of a sudden, this the last few days that she wore it, it's just been like she's either afraid or incapable of making those jumps now. I don't know what's going on there. So she's got a small cat tree, right? Usually I have it parked over by the window over there. It's like there's a square, a cube sitting on a platform, and then next to it there's a post with a platform. So she can get up onto the cube, and then she can climb up to the platform from there. I figured that would be a route to give her way onto the bed. Because, yeah. But she's just staring at it right now like she doesn't want anything to do with it. So, I don't know what to do about her. Now she's just sitting on one of her cardboard scratchers and licking herself over and over and over again, trying to get past the onesie. But yeah, that's basically my life right now. I've been trying to ease up on the spending with purchasing, with buying stuff, and yeah, my bank account looks like absolute dog shit right now. Like, thankfully we just got paid yesterday, so I can at least pay off my credit card for the month. Not have much left after that, but yeah. Yeah, so I think that's my life as far as everything happening locally inside of here. Not really a fan of things going on outside of these four walls, but unfortunately I think that my world out there is gonna come crashing down too. I mean, the more that I watch and see things happening in the various levels of government across the nation, I just realized that we really are in a hopeless position as far as trans rights go, and even the wider LGBTQ plus rights are concerned. We got what was it? 9 states want to petition the Supreme Court to overturn. What was the name of that case? That it started with an O. Ogden. I can't remember it. Anyway, 10 years ago, when the Supreme Court's actually did the right thing and legalized marriage equality. Well, got 9 states are trying to outlaw, to overturn that ruling. Let's see, we've got Texas is actually taking things way too far now, and they want to completely criminalize all forms of gender affirming care for transgender people, not just kids, but we're talking every single person that administers or receives any kind of transition related care. It is HB 3399. Look it up. It's 100% legit. And all what they've done there is they've taken the existing bill which covered kids, and they have stricken every reference to children and replaced it with person. So anytime that child was mentioned, it now reads person, which means all ages. So, and as you know, when one state takes a measure to fuck over trans people, other states will follow and adopt their own versions of the same thing. So, within a session or two, it's going to be, half the fucking states in this country are going to have that measure adopted into law. And I guarantee you that it's going to wind up becoming a federal thing too, because, well, Republicans hate. That's all there is to it. Let's see what else we got there. Yeah, we got Iowa. They decided to strip civil rights protections for transgender people. They're about to pass that into law because their legislature, their Senate, and their both their chambers passed the bills, and their governor is a bigot. So there's that. See, you got the shit going on with passports and visas now. The orange primate, stinking up the White House, has decided to bar any transgender person from entering the country if they're an athlete, and I believe that the language of the order is going to also include any transgender person because they're I don't know how they're going to enforce it exactly, but it's how it is. According to the Republican hate machine, we're being fraudulent by declaring a sex other than what is on our birth certificates. So they just like to ignore the science of gender and biology and genetics and everything. They just go by the third grade. You got PP. You XY. Ooh, you got vag. You XX. I mean, that's the extent of their of what they're willing to look at. But it all goes so much deeper than that. There's so much more nuance to all of it. To gender identity, to chromosomes, even to there's what was the last one I heard? It's in like at least 30 different variants of those chromosomes. It's not just XX or XY. There's I think the number was 30 different variants that deviate from that typical outcome. But Republicans like to pretend that shit doesn't exist. and that's not even touching on the nuance of gender identity. They just like to go, well, was it say on your birth certificate? Oh, you were born with this genital configuration, so therefore this is the life that you have to live. Yeah, and I went into to my transition almost 4 years ago with the understanding that I would be able to complete it, that I would be able to walk out on the other side and actually have a match between body and mind. Unfortunately, I see that window of opportunity collapsing around me, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to receive my surgery before the whole thing is outlawed, and before transition related care is completely outlawed. I'm near the top of the waiting list, or at least I should be. When I first got on the waiting list, they said it'd be about a year and a half. Well, it has been a year and a half, and I still haven't heard from the clinic as far as getting scheduled. I mean, last year it was a couple months beyond their estimates for my top surgery. When they called me about scheduling that, I declined it. But I don't know. Not if that's really going to matter, by year's end anyway. I don't plan on being here by that point. So, yeah, I'm still going on that. I'm just, I'm being realistic here. I don't intend to, I don't expect to be here by New Year's. So I'm living this life, this year as the end. Doing a lot of things for the last time, because I'm not stupid enough to think that people like me are going to get out of this alive anyway. The Department of Homeland Security, I think it was, has removed the ban, which stated that you cannot surveil someone just because they're LGBTQ. So now they have the green light to spy on any of us just strictly because we are gender diverse or gender nonconforming or have a sexual orientation that is not straight. So it's totally legal now for that agency to spy on us, just based only on that. I mean, how fucked up is that? I mean, really. I know what's coming. I know that once the Orange Baboon is finished with his hate campaign against the immigrants, rather than us just being a secondary party to his his maniacal schemes, we're going to be the primary target, and it's going to go from harassment regarding paperwork and documentation to hunt them down and get rid of them. Yeah, I guarantee that's the progression that we're looking at. But anyway, I'm getting tired here, and I am going to wonder why the cat is sitting there staring at me. You have a way up over there. Use it. Use the tree. I fucking put it over there to help you get up here. It's not that hard of a fucking climb. You stupid asshole. Yeah. Anyway, I'm tired of fighting. So, ever I cut a couple people out of my life this week because their MAGA Kool-Aid drinking is just too fucking much for me. So, anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. Maybe read a little bit first, but yeah, I'm done for the night. Tomorrow, back to work. Yay! Welcome to March.